Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is day number 3. So what's on the agenda today? Well, a visit to Hollywood. And don't worry, I know to watch my back. Hollywood is indeed a rough place. And even before I started taking this video right here for the introduction, I already witnessed a couple of things that are, well, that's Hollywood in a nutshell. So ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the footage. I'm going to get as much as I can. I'm going to do the best I can. Thank y'all very much.
Well, look at that. The intro to Hollywood, y'all. Check this out. Got a little bit of sound. Look at that. A little bit of the stars. Check this out. Sandra Bullock. Keanu Reeves. So now I got George Lopez. There he is. Oh, Donald Trump. So we're at the Dolby Theater, y'all. We're at the Dolby Theater. So I'm kind of looking around trying to see what I can get. Walking around Hollywood, trying to find the Wax Museum actually, and the Roosevelt Hotel. Seems a little familiar. Seems a little bit historic. Man, I'll be honest, this is difficult to see. You know, okay, there's the Madame Tussauds Wax Museum. I feel like I'm in the wrong spot, because I was actually looking for a place where I was 4 years ago. You know, so far, I'll be honest, so far nobody's walked up to me and asked for money. Try to keep it that way.
Okay, that was pretty good. Now, do we all know the TV show?
Yeah.
Right? If you know the TV show, that means you know my boss Harvey, and he loves our tours, so he actually starts our tour off.
You're about to take the TMZ tour, but we got a little surprise just before you go. We want to send you off in style and grace, and a word or two from what's his name, who hosts the show. Take it, Harvey!
Everybody, it's Harvey Levin. I wanted to welcome all you folks to the TMZ Celebrity Tour. This is a 2-hour show on wheels, where we take you through Hollywood and West Hollywood and Beverly Hills and show you all the places that we made famous over the last 17 years. And then we bring it all to life with videos that you're going to see on the monitors. And keep your eyes open, because we see tons of celebrities on this tour. The Rock, Kevin Hart, Kim Kardashian, Dave Chappelle, Ben Affleck, Mariah Carey. We see Justin Bieber. So keep your eyes peeled. If you see anybody, call it out to the guide. If you do see a celebrity, you may end up on our television show as well. So sit back, have a great time, and enjoy the tour.
So thanks for taking the TMZ tour, where our motto is, motto to be added at a later date. We're still working on it.
Yes, guys, so welcome to the TNT Celebrity Tour. My name is Lane, yes, like Lois Lane, Superman's girlfriend, and I'm going to be your tour guide, just not the Superman that walks out here on Hollywood Boulevard. Alright, that guy will lie to you, tell you we are dating. We are not. We have Ollie up here. Ollie is our awesome bus driver, yes! Now, me and Ollie are great at finding those celebrities, but there's only 2 of us. There's a lot more of you guys. So if you think you see a celebrity, even if you are not sure, you're like, man, that looks like a bad version of someone, it's probably them. Alright? We don't have makeup teams every day. Also, we're on strike still, so there's nothing to get ready for. So if you think you see somebody, please shout it out, but shout it out quickly. I'm fast, but only for about 3 blocks. After that, you got to bring the bus back around to get me. I'm out of breath. I got to just play videos. Like, I can't breathe anymore. Maybe take me to the hospital, all that kind of stuff. Now, we have just a couple rules to go over. So follow these couple rules. We'll have a nice, safe trip. And now, yes! Hi, Jimmy Kimmel. Now, you can get free tickets to Jimmy Kimmel. oneiota.com. They film Monday through Thursday. Alright, on Thursday they do 2 shows, so they get a 3-day weekend. Alright, but they are back filming over there. Now, everything that's not Disney premieres over here on your guys' right-hand side. That is the TCL Chinese Theater. Now, did anyone check out the Chinese Theater before we got started? No?
I looked at it, but I didn't go inside.
Yeah, it's the handprints and the footprints of all the movies that T for him. But I feel like that really could have just been something to like see for the rest of the time. And see a celebrity who can't spell their name, right? Now when we do our big movie premieres, they will take over the entire street for 24. That mirror. They put it in their lobby. They say Marilyn's ghost haunts it. So all you have to do is walk straight in this mirror, wave into it, and they say Marilyn will appear and wave back at you. Now you guys have to let me know if it works. Right, because I've tried it a bunch of times. And every time I try it, I just see this beautiful blonde lady looking back at me. Okay, I got like 3 pity laughs up here. The rest of you gonna have to lower your standards. My jokes don't get any better than that, alright? Now, what makes this tour different than every other tour on the planet is this long line. Normally, it is around the entire parking lot up in this side street, alright? But it is 10:45, and apparently not that many people need burgers this early. But In-N-Out is an LA, California staple. It is insane to me, though, because I really think it should be named In and Maybe Later We'll Get Out, because it is never fast over here. But we have celebrities that love In and Out. Yes, I think they're okay. The problem I have is still fast food, and it's not fast. So right now you're just coming for the food, and there's a difference if I'm waiting for an hour for food as opposed to waiting for here. Where are we from? Yeah, not too far. Welcome down the coast. And who are we dying to see? Barack Obama. Okay. Here's the thing. I will run after a lot of people with a lot of security. But I am not trying to get shot by Secret Service here, okay? So at a certain point, I'm going to look non-threatening. Be like, hi, you can check whatever you like. I'd just like him to come say hi to the bus, right? But his daughters aren't here, so we do catch Michelle here a lot. And Barack every once.
It didn't sell. But on the other hand, yowza! O.J. Simpson made a killing at Bottoms, much like the ones he made in Brentwood. Kaboom! When he sold his Heisman Trophy for a whopping $230,000, which he then had to give away as part of his $33 million judgment for killing 2 people. Cause he did it.
I know what you're thinking, and you're wrong. O.J. did kill Ron and Nicole. He did not.
Buses. Now this intersection right here, this is Sunset and Courtney. We have to go back in time again, okay? More spirit fingers. We're going back to the mid-90s this time. Arguably one of the biggest movie stars, almost killed his entire career over here. Who was big in the 90s and in trouble? Everyone, right? I saw you all going through lists of names. Yes, but I'm going to bet that Hugh Grant probably still avoids that intersection.
Hey, who here likes...
Dude, his ratings up, or they were pulling him off and trying someone else in that time slot. He was doing all these crazy stunts to get those ratings up until Hugh Grant got arrested. He called him up the next day and said, come on my show tonight, I won't ask you anything hard. That's exactly where Hugh went. What was the hardest question he was asked? What were you thinking? And the whole audience was told to laugh and clap, so he really didn't have to answer it. Yeah, I mean, it was the mid-90s. Arguably one of the biggest movie stars of the time gets arrested, you probably do want him on your show. But I also feel like it is a very, very hard invite to get. If you do not get invited and you win an Oscar, you're welcome to walk inside holding that Oscar. Yes. So if you guys ever see me win an Oscar, you know where I am going. Whether they have invited me or not, I'm walking inside. Because I've been inside this hotel one single time. Over here, I've heard it's great pizza, but as you can see, there's nobody in line right now, and I think that's great. Because the day they opened, they had a line that was 3/4 of a mile down the street. Next door to it, we have the Saddle Ranch. The Saddle Ranch has been here for decades. They have always had all this outdoor seating, but during the pandemic, they took their parking lot and turned it into the restaurant. They just stopped using the parking lot in the last 2 months over there. Next door to that, we have the Andes Hotel. This used to be known as the Riot Hyatt. Bands would perform here on the Sunset Strip, continue their party in the room, and then decide to open the windows and throw things out. Guitars would come raining down on the street, so we're happy that Andes now has windows that don't open, alright? Party all you want, keep it inside. Next door to that, we have the world famous Comedy Store. The Comedy Store is owned by Mitzi Shore, Pauly Shore's mom. He is still part owner of there if anyone is dying to find Pauly Shore. Yeah. That's about the reaction for Pauly. Now, I did not forget about you. Next over here, where are we from? Virginia. And who we dying to see? Anyone. All right, what about last in the corner? Virginia, you know. Yeah. And who we dying to see? Anyone. Okay. Now, I know it sounds silly, guys, but take all those names, put them out in the universe. Even the anyone names, all right? Put them out in the universe. We are here in Los Angeles. We talk to the universe all the time. We manifest all of it, all right? I have my incense, and I have my candles, and I have... Now coming up, there's the coffee bean. Above the coffee bean is this white building. What I want to point out about that white building is that big window. It goes all the way around the front and up the side of the building. That window made Wolfgang Puck. That was the original location for Spago, Wolfgang Puck's very first restaurant. Now he says that window made him because he would always hold back one table. For celebrities, you would instantly get sat at the window. Now who wouldn't want to come back for that? But he said he was doing it because everyone that got stuck at the light was going to look up and see celebrities, and the regular people were coming in as well. Now you can all still eat at Spago. He just moved it down to Beverly Hills. All right, he's a celebrity chef now. Now over here on your guys' left-hand side, this blacked out building, that is the Viper Room. Now, unfortunately, the Viper Room is known as the place that River Phoenix passed away out front on Halloween. He was there to perform with his own band and with Johnny Depp's band. Johnny Depp actually used to be part owner of the Viper Room. Now, Johnny Depp had part ownership, then this businessman here in Los Angeles had part ownership. They worked well together until they didn't. When they didn't, they sued each other. In these lawsuits, they both need to be deposed. That businessman left his house to be deposed, never showed up, and has never been seen or found again. Why did that not come out in the Amber Heard trial? I feel like that'd be the first thing I'd say. Last guy that sued him disappeared. Now that businessman's daughter took over that same lawsuit and won against Johnny Depp, she owned it until last year. Last year it was sold. Every big band was coming out of the whiskey. If you could get 2 nights of the whiskey, you could get played on the radio. And that could make or break your career in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Now, I need us to go back in time again, but we're going to have to do a lot of spirit fingers. Alright, we're going to do so many that we're going to go all the way back to the 60s. We're all flower children. We walk inside and we say, who's performing tonight? And they tell us it is the house band. I think we're going to be pretty excited because the house band in the 60s used to be the Doors. Pretty good house band. I just don't want to have to be the house band that follows the Doors. You know that you're just not going to be as cool. Now we also have the Roxy. The Roxy is the whole bottom floor here. It is the biggest of our 3 locations. Now the top floor is a members only club called On the Rocks. Get it? On the Rocks at the Roxy. Okay guys, it is a dad joke and I didn't get anybody to... So we make a big deal about the shield. Now, does anyone think the shield kind of looks like the original Warner Brothers logo? Yeah, a little bit, because Warner Brothers designed it. Then Beverly Hills liked it so much when they saw it, they bought it. They trademarked it. To put that sign in a movie or television show now costs 20 grand. Now, one thing I've seen since this is if you change something 20%, it's no longer trademarked. So if you see a movie and it's like brown and the letters are a little different, it's because they're trying to get away from the trademark, so they don't have to do it. You will see it all the time. I saw it on Grey's Anatomy when they finally were coming to LA with Addison. I was like, they had a very fancy day here. September 2nd, 2010. September 2nd, 2010. Why would that date mean something to Beverly Hills? 90210 day, right? 90210, like the TV show and the zip code.
Acknowledge their marketing skills with a proclamation. Nothing they've done for Beverly Hills rises to the level of this honor, and in fact, some would argue quite the opposite.
Yeah, so why were people so mad? Because the Kardashians live in Calabasas. That is Alfred's Coffee. Now, great coffee. It is a place here in Los Angeles I highly suggest for coffee, but the original Alfred's is on Melrose Place. When we go by Melrose Place, I'll point out Melrose Place to you guys. It's about halfway down the street, and everyone loves the original one. So if you're looking for coffee in the morning, you're a coffee person, you want to go somewhere, that is where I'm suggesting that you go here. Now, the next place I got to point out is Ginny's Ice Cream, because they've only been open for like 2 months over here. And the first week they were open, who did we catch but Vanna White? Yeah, I'm shocked. Vanna White eats ice cream and is that skinny? I'm so mad at her. I'm so mad at her. Now, also on your guys' left-hand side is these orange umbrellas. That is Nate Now's Delicatessen. Now, Nate Now's is a little mom-and-pop place here in Beverly Hills. It has been here for 73 years. Doing their morning meeting over there. Now, Ava really became famous one single night. Who went over there? LeBron James. What night was it? The night he signed for the Lakers. Yes, who did he eat with? Leonardo DiCaprio and Al Pacino. Yeah, he was like, who can I not find in Cleveland? Let's eat with all of them. Now they are right across the street from a beautiful hotel. This is the Mayborn Hotel. This was the Montage Hotel. And we have celebrities that like to live over here for months on end. Now I thought Justin Bieber was the worst because he lived over there for 3 months. He is not. There's a celebrity I'm going to bet every person on this bus knows. And she has almost a 5,000 square foot apartment inside that hotel and has for over 19 years. Who is it other than Miss? Judge Judy. Yeah, Judge Judy got Justin Bieber money. She has done over 6,000 episodes of that show. When she works now, she only works 2 months out of the year. They film all the shows in 2 months out of the year. So she's making $1 million a day from that main show. Yeah, I was like, I want to become a judge now. Now, over here we have another beautiful hotel. Does anyone recognize this hotel maybe from a movie about hookers?
Wolf of Wall Street?
Yes, that is the Pretty Woman Hotel over there. Yes, nice and beautiful. Now, the Pretty Woman Hotel, we absolutely love it, but they would not let them film inside. They did all their outside scenes here. When they went to go film inside, they said, nope, you cannot film inside our hotel. Our guest privacy means too much to most people remember my boss. He was outside interviewing everyone. Now, when he was doing these interviews, he's like, man, why don't we do this with the celebrities? Right? Let's go interview him. 20 years ago, no one talked to celebrities. They took pictures of him and then wrote about the rumors. And he's like, why don't we go interview them? They probably want to clear up some of these rumors. Everyone he told his idea to told him it was a terrible idea until one night at Mr. Chow, who was inside other than Ryan Seacrest. He runs over uninvited to Ryan's table, sits down uninvited at Ryan's table, and Ryan Seacrest thought the idea was so cool, Harvey was afraid Ryan was going to steal his idea. So less than a year after that meeting with Ryan, TMZ the website up and running, multiple stories already there. 2 years after we launched the website, we got our first TV show.
We are 15 years from that TV show premiere.
Or are you just trying to stop the tourists? Right? No, we're TMZ, so I'm going to teach you guys how to find someone. You're going to go down the first street we went down. It is Beverly Drive. About halfway down the street, there's an underground parking structure. Oregon, you don't have to pump your own gas. They will do it for you, but here, that is where you can go over there and get somebody to pump your gas for you. Now, we don't go by any of the homes here. That is something for TMZ. We don't have any of the homes. You will never see TMZ at somebody's house unless an emergency vehicle is there or they have called us and invited us there. But I have a secret hideout, okay? Don't tell my bosses, but I have a secret hideout for you guys.
Beverly Hills Courthouse! Yay! It's where Lindsay Lohan wrote F.U. to the judge on her fingernails. Where Zsa Zsa Gabor went on trial for slapping a cop. Where Winona was slapped with 3 years hard probation for shoplifting. And it's just one of the many fine courthouses available to Los Angelinos. Other courthouses have seen celebs like Chris Brown, Snoop Dogg, Chris Brown, Courtney Love, Chris Brown, 2 Chainz, Chris Brown, and of course, Chris Brown. Man, that guy really loves court. Beverly Hills Courthouse, everybody!
He is hanging out at all the other curtains on them. That is one way to tell where something is filming. Now, they're not doing that so we can't see what they're filming. They're doing it for the lighting. So it doesn't matter if it's a nice, beautiful, clear day. It doesn't matter if it's a cloudy day. It's always going to look the same inside that room. Now, we always ask, hey, would you guys film it? They never tell us. Right? You don't want to be like, we're in Fast and Furious. Nice and beautiful. We love the Ivy. It is famous from tons of movies, tons of television shows have filmed over here. Now, here's my favorite thing about filming and the Ivy. They got tired of renting out the real one. So a studio here in Los Angeles created a fake Ivy. They built the facade of the building, then they built the deck. But when they built the deck, they almost built it twice the size of the deck you just saw. So if you're ever watching a movie and it looks really big, and you're like, but Lane showed me the Ivy and that looks really big, they're at the fake one. Right? They can stay there, or they can film as long as they need to, the fake one. We fake everything here. I told you, locations, they fake them all the time. Why'd they build it bigger? Again, by the time you put the cameras on there and the crew on there, lead actors, they want to make sure it looks like a lived-in restaurant. So, we fake our locations.
And helped launch the careers of brilliant comedians like Jerry Seinfeld, George Carlin, Steve Martin, and lots of stars have hung out at the Improv, like Dave Chappelle, Amy Schumer, David Spade, Sarah Silverman, Kaylee Kuko, Quacko, the hot chick from The Big Bang Theory. And the Improv is where workaholic star Adam Devine was employed as a doorman before becoming famous, and he's still hanging out there.
I'm just chilling here outside of the Improv right now.
This week we have somebody, but next week is going to be Nate Bargatze, which is really, really awesome as well if you're into comedy. He's awesome and great. Now, I know I've showed you guys a lot of expensive restaurants, so I want to show you a cheap place. You can come for lunch.
Hot dogs, we love hot dogs. He loves hot dogs. She loves hot dogs. The entire world loves hot dogs. And when in LA, people frequently eat those hot dogs at Pink's, a legendary locale where Frankfurter fans linger in long lines for delicious dogs. Pink started as a push cart way back in 1939, and plenty of stars enjoy.
Now, in front of that blue wall, most days you will see cars parked in front of it. Yep, today as well. All the cars are parked in front of it. Now, where those cars are parked is actually the water tank over there. Yes, guys, enjoy that day off after the strike. You guys struck all morning. Yes, yes, yes. So that water tank is where the Titanic was filmed. Yeah. And you guys, it's only 4 feet deep. They use it as a parking lot until you need a water seat. When you need a water seat, you pull all the cars out, paint it blue if you need to, fill it with water. You have machines you stick down in there, give them different wave types. You want the white of the ocean? You throw some soap in there. Yes. So if you guys ever watched the Titanic and cried when Leonardo DiCaprio's character died, you did not need to. There was room on that door. We all know it.
Yes,
or
there
he could have
was.
just stood up.
Yes, there
only 4
was.
feet deep. Now, Paramount is also the original location for Desilu Studios. Desilu Studios, Lucille Ball, Desi Inez. She's the first female head of a studio. Contract they offered back was less than the contract they offered on July 12th. It's gotten nasty out here because a couple months back, when they weren't talking to the studio, when nobody was talking to the studios, the writers or the actors, these studio heads, the CEOs, were at the Billionaires Retreat. And what did Bob Iger, the head of Disney, say at the Billionaires Retreat? He was being recorded. He knew it was being recorded, and one of his assistants took this recording, cut it, and sent it to the Hollywood Reporter, and they showed it to everyone. He said, when someone asked him, when are you coming back to the table to get this done? Because the studios are each losing about $50 million a day, and yet are still willing to do the strike because they know they'd have to pay up for the next 10 years. Really not speaking to anyone. It's been absolutely horrible out here. Now, next door to Netflix, we have another studio. This is Sunset Bronson Studios. Some fun history over here. This is where Hannah Montana filmed. It's where Judge Judy still films, along with KTLA, our local news station, one of the first local news stations in the country. That is their original antenna. That used to be the tallest thing in Los Angeles. It could get everyone their news, which I think is hilarious because every building now is like 4 times the size of that antenna. Now, we have a very small studio on this store, so if you guys need a blank now. Coming up on this light, just past it, only goes for about half a block here. This is Sunset Gower. Now, Sunset Gower might be the smallest studio, but my favorite, because this is where I Love Lucy filmed. And I Love Lucy changed how we do multicam comedies even today, because they would only approve Lucy to do her show if she did it in front of a live studio audience. So that would mean broadcast cameras, 3 guys walking around with cameras on their shoulder. But Desi and Lucy didn't want to shoot with those because they were really bad quality. It was really hard to save the footage, and by the time they started broadcasting it out, no, he does not want to star. If you ask him about when are you going to get your star in an interview, he will actually ask you, what is your favorite charity? And he will donate the money to charity. Now, I think that is nice.
Oh man, that looks good. Yeah, as y'all can see, I mean, I am very, very hungry. Bum 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 bum.
Hollywood Bowl in a sec. Aren't they like 100 years old already? Jeez.
Hey, the Rolling Stones went forever.
Yeah, but that's the Rolling Stones. Just kidding. No, Guns N' Roses, good band. I'm surprised. What's over there? That's going to be the parking lot for the Hollywood Bowl. Hollywood Bowl is one of LA's oldest concert venues there. First show was in 1912. It was William Shakespeare's Julius Caesar. It was originally built in the early 1920s. Actually was built with wood, and it read Hollywood Land. 19 stars. It's a fun tourist attraction if you're looking for something to do. You don't really know what to do. Griffith's Observatory. Okay, to the left there, you're going to get a view of Hollywood there. You can see the house with the pool in the front. That home was used in Creed 3, the third installment of the Creed film, Michael B. Jordan. It's kind of fun. Grand Theft Auto 5. Centered around Los Angeles terrain. Nevertheless, there it is. Let's see Universal Studios, the theme park. Universal Studios also has its actual studio film lots where they shoot all of their shows and TVs and stuff. It's all down there. And if you can find Harry Potter's castle right there to the right a little bit, just beyond it is a collection of rooftops. That's Warner Brothers Studios, folks. Largest studio film lot in the country. Has its own tours. You can tour Warner Brothers. It's where they filmed the DC comic book superhero. So it doesn't snow here at ground level or in the canyons, but it does at high elevation in the mountains. Chili Peppers.
Oh yeah.
The bassist from the band, his name is Flea. He just bought this property on the left-hand side. This is 7966 Mulholland Drive. You see, it's nothing pretty right now. It's like a concrete box. But I'm sure it's gonna look great in a few months. Mr. Cruz paid $11 million for it. The home address is 1111 Cal Vista Drive. Right up on the top of the hill there. Nice looking home. Supposedly, it's the only home he owns here in LA. His neighbors complain that he's never home, and tourists are always looking at his house. As her daughter, also named Lucille Ball, still lives in the home. Mid-century style home, probably looks modern. Nice looking house. Miss Lucille Ball was the first female actress to lead a sitcom. She did it with her real-life husband, Desi Arnaz, who played her on-screen husband, Ricky Ricardo. She was already an established actress before the show, as she appeared in 65 feature films before the show aired in 1951.
This is the way to Chicago.
That's right, this is Santa Monica Boulevard, more famously known as Route 66, built from Chicago, Illinois to Los Angeles, California during the Great Depression era of American history, intended to give Midwest and East Coast families opportunity to travel west for a better opportunity for work.